Hello everyone, this is Phoebe back again with another video. Today's video is a bit different. I want to break free from the usual norm in this channel to talk about something other than Trackmaster. It was something that I was really thinking about for the past few weeks. I always want to make some sort of video where I talk about things. If this video does well, then I'll do more stuff like this. Alright, so here we go. The first video of 2026. Let's begin. James the Red Engine is one of the most iconic Thomas characters throughout the entire series. But you already knew that. He's literally everywhere. Why am I telling you this? A mixed traffic engine who can pull both trucks and coaches. However, he doesn't like pulling trucks because of his stupid pain. Now, a few years ago, me and a couple friends were discussing a reality where, what if James never arrived on Sodor? And how much of Sodor's lore would have been different without him? I've never really put this thought into a video until as of writing the script, and I'm definitely not the first person to talk about this. I did a little digging on YouTube and found someone by the name of ComicFan13. He did a video similar to what I'm talking about here. I think it's called, What If James Died on His First Day or something like that. Jeez, fucking harsh. I highly recommend that you check that one out too. Link in the description or the end cards. So without further ado, let's see how much Sodor's lore would change if James didn't arrive on Sodor. Now, we all know that James was a runaway and crashed on his first day, but that didn't happen because he never came to Sodor. Remember that. So since he didn't arrive, he wouldn't have had that crash on his first day. As a result of that, Thomas wouldn't have rescued him from that field and been awarded the branch line. With Thomas still the station pilot, Gordon and Henry wouldn't go on strike because they still have their station pilot. As a result, Percy would not be necessary. Several of the established events would not happen either. For instance, since Thomas wasn't running his branch line, he wouldn't have gotten in trouble with the constable, meaning Toby didn't arrive either. No point to him, I guess. Since Thomas never leaves the yard, Duck wouldn't have come either. Same for Donald and Douglas, because the events of missing coach, brake van, and deputation didn't happen. Which in turn, Oliver and Toad would likely be fucking dead, because Douglas wouldn't have come to his rescue. So let's change some stuff around and see if it could still work, even without that number 5 red engine. I wrote a whole headcanon on how this could all work, and it's not perfect either, so bear with me on this. So Topham Hatt reopens the Farquhar branch line. He buys Toby and Henrietta to run it. Annie and Clarabelle would be added to Toby's consist, and since Toby has cowcatchers, he would have no problem going through the line without the police getting him in trouble. Toby would officially become the 5th engine on the railway. Cutting back to the main line, Henry's constant steaming troubles lead to Topham buying the Welsh coal for him. It works brilliantly, as we all know. That is until the winter where Henry has a skipper crash and gets sent to crew. However, this now makes the main line down an engine. Topham then sends Thomas to help out on the main line, who unsurprisingly is thrilled at the opportunity. However, this leaves the yards without a pilot. Topham then goes to the workshop with Edward and purchases Percy to shunt the trains around the yard. Percy becomes engine number 6, just like before. That spring, Henry comes back refurbished in a new shape and a lot stronger. A little while later, the traffic increases on the main line, and because of the increasing workload, Thomas and Edward become very worn out. Topham soon realizes this, so in turn, Topham buys Donald and Douglas from Scotland. This would skip over the whole one twin has to be sent away storyline entirely. Topham intended to keep them both on... This would skip the entire one twin has to be sent away storyline entirely, since Topham intended to keep both of them anyway. Donald would become number 7 and Douglas number 8. Soon after, Topham needed a new harbor built on the Farquhar branch, but Toby couldn't do it alone as he was already extremely overworked, having to pull all the goods and passengers anyway. So Topham then sent Thomas and Percy to help Toby run the branch line and build the new harbor. He then consequently purchased Duck to be the station pilot at Nafford, making Duck the 9th engine. Edward would then gain the Brendan branch. Bill and Ben would then be bought for China clay duties at the clay pits. At this point in time, everything is pretty much the same in the regular Sodor as the At this point in time, everything is the same as in the regular Sodor lore. The Diesel and Duck stories happen, Thomas has the breakfast, running towards straight, and Daisy arrives and stays on the railway. Douglas saves Oliver, Isabella, and Toad. Yada, yada, yada. The rest is history. Now, again, I don't claim that this is all perfect, and frankly, this feels thrown together, honestly. But, I mean, a lot of thinking went into making this all come together. It just goes to show that James is a very essential character in the lore. Granted, I made it work without him somehow. If I'm going to be honest, it's kind of like trying to build a wall out of only Jenga blocks and thinking it will stop a tsunami.
Hey, yo, the pizza here. Oh! My ears burn!
Yeah, let me know if you guys want more stuff like this in the future. Maybe a ranking video or a review on a Thomas movie. I still don't know yet. So, no promises. Thanks for tuning in, people. Subscribe if you're new. So, yeah, goodbye.